Hey metalheads, and welcome to another episode of Metal Academics in which we feature the band
Iron Fire.
Iron Fire is a name that doesn't resonate too deeply with me because also there's several other bands that have iron in their name. Besides Iron Maiden, of course.
Iron Savior.
Iron Savior, exactly. So where do these guys come from?
So, Iron Fire, Danish.
Danish!
Band. One of the seminal Nordic power metal heroes, I would say.
Sometimes I always do wonder why the Danes are never making it to the top echelons of metal, but maybe Iron Fire is one of such examples because typically it's the Swedes and the Finns with a twist of black metal Norwegian.
Well, you just opened yourself up for another comment about how Finland is not part of Scandinavia. We understand. We know it's not part of the peninsula.
The north.
The north.
Norden.
Beyond the wall, exactly. So this is interesting. I think I mentioned them in the Pretty Maids battle.
Yeah, the battle, yeah.
So Iron Fire is a band that I know about, again, because of Pandora. Back when I started listening to metal in the early 2000s.
I must give it up to the algorithms powering Pandora because always, like back in the day, we may say.
I was served this content and I fell in love with it immediately. And the broader story is basically this band had an excellent debut album called Thunderstorm in 2000. And I'll put a picture up of the
cover.
The cover. We'll see it also. It's back when it looks just like a Hammerfall cover. It's back when you would have like a knight and some weapon jamming it towards the ground. This excellent golden age of metal, I would say. But then their second album was not well received.
Why not?
It just wasn't
popular enough.
They sort of built up a lot of hype, and you think like you have a Hammerfall going on at this time, also Lost Horizon building a bunch of hype at this time. And so they made
so many of the Swedes, right? Steel Attack.
And so Iron Fire was sort of the Danish progeny, so to say. Their second album, not well received, even though I liked a couple songs on the album. So they came out with a third album called Revenge.
Oh, I like that title.
One thing about Iron Fire, and I know them particularly because when I lived in Copenhagen, I lived basically on top of a rock bar called High Voltage, where they would play quite often, and so I've seen
this particular band was there.
Yeah,
okay,
it was kind of small live venue, and then it would turn into a club where they play a lot of like Guns N' Roses and stuff. Really cool bar, and
so they'll play live.
Yeah,
Iron Fire. We have concerts.
Yeah, 20 years later, with different lineups. And so one thing that's really cool about this band is they've really they've evolved. They have a new album out from 2019 called Beyond the Void.
You know what? I think I've seen that. That was actually positively received, maybe to contrast with the other one you were mentioning.
Yeah, and actually, if you
Beyond the Void, I've seen that.
That's much more of like a sort of heavier sound. But the songs I'm going to play are going back to their more power metal days. I would say like the pure power metal, the cheese that they bring.
As you have, you got us used to.
Yes.
You always like the early versions of
early
bands.
versions, lots of cheese, lots of corny lyrics, and that's what we're going to get. Vocalist is the guy who really flagship of the band, has stuck with them the whole time. Martin Steen. True metal warrior in my book.
Nice.
Been through the ups and downs with bad critics and good reviews and everything, and really has changed the sound over time. But we're going to go to a song called "Kill for Metal," which is probably
very nice title.
One of their better songs, probably my favorite. Comes off their 2009 album called "To the Grave." Very little video footage of the band, so there's a live video from Norway, and also a kind of like behind the scenes making of the album To the Grave. And so I kind of spliced the two together with the studio track. So let's go Kill for Metal. I feel like I've been talking too long. Let's
it's an anthem-like
let's get
song.
into it. So we'll see some footage of the band and also the kind of behind the scenes, which is cool. So Kill for Metal off of To the Grave. Look at this album.
I was going to say the audio.
Metal! Back in time, before time, the chosen one made the steel of blood and glory. Out of the flames came a new king, and today the gathering will stand in the battle of the brave, who will be the new gods of metal.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Fast, sweet. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honor to the Danes. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Very nice.
You know, it makes you think. I think metal is the genre that has the most singing about the genre. Like pop singers don't sing about pop.
Pop.
Maybe rap singers sing about rap, but not as much as metal singers
I
sing about
wouldn't
metal.
know.
Yeah. So that's some.
I like it. You know, off the bat, who they remind me of, and probably it's an unexpected reference. Maybe because of the title, it's Freedom Call. a German band. We've done one of our early reviews on Freedom Call. So if you guys don't know it, you can check it out, see if I'm right or not. But it's kind of this anthemic, like happy, powerful, short, sweet, and a good voice, and with a lot of like sliding guitars.
Yeah.
It just seems like kind of that time, maybe because they're also the timing is right, like it was in the spirit of those early 2000s.
Yeah,
Whatnot.
I'm telling you, I think there's something special going on there.
Yeah, I like it very much. I very much enjoyed it.
That's definitely their sort of fan favorite. That's what they'll end their concerts with. Everyone kind of knows it. And
Iron Fire.
definitely the most played according to Spotify. So now we're going to dial up the cheese.
Whoa.
And we're going to go we started in 2009 and now we're going to go back in time.
Okay, that was your earliest.
Yeah, that was the earliest. Again, I wanted to play something off their new album, but check out Beyond the Void because it's a different sound. It's more kind of heavy. Yeah, heavy.
We're not going to
going to hear that this time around. I want to stick with the earlier more power metal stuff. And this song that I'm going to play next is called "Bridges Will Burn." Off of Blade of Triumph from 2007.
Blade of Triumph.
And this is
nice.
This is like pure Pandora, a song that I was recommended and I really liked back in the day. Still do like very much, but not one of their better known songs.
But it's good because you've listened to it many times.
I was even scouting around the metal archives to see what people, and they have great reviews for these sort of earlier albums, and no one really mentioned this song. You know, they always pick like ones that are really
this is the discovery aspect.
Bangers. So Dragon Heart, the lead song is very good.
I think I even know about that. Sounds very familiar.
But we'll listen to Bridges Will Burn. And the only thing I'll say about this song is if you think about, we've mentioned it a few times on the channel, Sabaton's Metal Crew.
Yeah.
They mention all these bands.
Yeah.
I don't think this song is supposed to do that, but it hits about every buzzword in metal you can, from like, Crimson Warriors. Yeah, you'll hear it. Just listen and think about the lyrics a bit. It's like every power metal buzzword you could think of. But
so the name of the song is
Bridges Will Burn.
Bridges Will Burn. I think of all sorts of metaphors.
Yeah, and now we're going just album art from here on out. But I love this album cover.
Oh, cool. Nice. Very Viking.
Yes.
Yes, the cheese factor
Dial
was
up the cheese.
high.
I love it.
It was definitely high on
I
this one.
love it.
Excellent guitar solo. Loved that one. Loved that one. I think the voice the melody was occasionally too cheesy.
Yeah, the chorus is definitely cheese factor really high.
Much.
But
fun altogether.
It works,
Yeah.
right. And so for me, it's very much like
fun.
very Steel Attack,
Yeah.
very Storm Warrior. Like this is I love this type of metal. Probably my favorite. Okay, yeah, I acknowledge it's so cheesy, but the
Actually, did remind me of Gloryhammer with a unicorn and.
Yeah, unicorns featured in metal way before.
So I think it kind of fits that preference of yours.
I mean, I also think this is maybe even too much cheese at some point for
Even
me.
for you.
But it balances out with the awesome
The guitar
work.
was awesome. Definitely. That solo was perfect.
So,
Spot on.
and that's one thing that people sort of criticize a bit in the reviews I read is that, like, I mean, it's very sing-songy, and the chorus can be a bit too much cheese in some places, but there's different levels of cheese in different songs, but you can go, I mean, they have, I don't know exactly how many albums Iron Fire has, actually. 7, maybe. 8.
Okay.
And there's tons of variations of cheese factor, but like this type of song, they have many of these that are just fun. I like them. a lot.
Definitely energy full, and I think the voice and the chorus. I'm less on the cheese train compared to Michael, so it did kind of started to signal some alarm signals to me. But then the guitarist came in, and I'm like, "Pwah, I love it."
You know, I mean, there's a sense that I think this can't be taken seriously. I don't think the vocalist is necessarily believing in the.
Unless we talk to the authors, we will never
Yeah.
know. Again, I'm overstating
That's my
this.
impression, anyways. But it's I don't know. I think it's kind of tongue in cheek.
Definitely a great song, using some of the tropes of the genre, but in a very good way.
Crimson King. That's what I was thinking of, not Crimson Warrior. So, yeah.
Funny.
Okay, well, now we're also going to go, again, back in time. So we're going back to
Further back in
to
time.
the debut album from 2000, Thunderstorm, which is incredible. It is not on Spotify. So if you want to listen to it, you got to go to YouTube.
Well, thankfully, we're on YouTube, so we can actually showcase this.
Yes, and so the song I'm going to play off of that album, I wanted to pick one from Thunderstorm, and that's going to be Rise of the Rainbow.
Rise of the Rainbow.
Now, the thing about this song is, I don't really like the first half. But the second half and the way it ends is like awesome. And I would say a word I've used a few times on this channel, perhaps more or less inappropriately, is funky. It gets funky towards the end. And
in a good way.
yeah. And also kind of a funny thing is that I thought for the chorus, which is, again, super cheesy, I thought it was singing about a holy dragonfly. Which would, it's bad when you know that could make sense.
In the
but
context of the band.
Holy dragonfly, something. But I looked at the lyrics and it's holy dragon, fly with me.
It's
It's
a
not
comma
holy
somewhere.
dragonfly. So I'm a little bit disappointed, actually, because I'd be on board with that.
Whoever have seen a holy dragonfly? Yeah.
So that would have been a first in metal, I think. But it is Holy Dragon, Fly With Me. And
The song again is called
Rise of the Rainbow.
Rise of the Rainbow.
Lots of good songs on Thunderstorm.
Good name of
But
the
I like this
album.
one for the instrumentals, the guitar solo and afterwards. So let's hear it.
Shining down on me, I've heard the
guitars.
So good, right?
Oh yes, very cool. Love the guitars.
Like
So
that
cool.
little funky switch
Yeah.
there. Wow, 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 wow.
It was a bit of 70s special
Yeah.
effects, but cool. They fitted the song very nicely. Really like. Maybe this is actually my favorite
Yeah.
from the ones you played.
They've got some awesome stuff. Final Crusade is good on Thunderstorm. Really just a fun album to listen to, cover front to back. But I think that's something that Iron Fire does a lot. It's maybe different from other bands of that era. I mean, of course, like you kick into some kind of guitar solo,
Yeah.
but they really switch into a complete different groove.
Sound, yeah.
Sort of second
Different
half light or
pedals,
something.
yeah.
So
Very nice. I liked it very, very much. Definitely a reason to dive into the discography since, again, they've been around for some time and produced music over the years, as they say. Cool.
Yeah,
A
and
nice
it's-
discovery for me.
it's fun to they've had a lot of switches up in their guitarists and bass players and whatnot, but it's fun to follow the vocalist Martin Steen, who's really been there the whole time and sort of
Good voice,
hear
too.
his different directions of the composition. I mean, I think it's interesting that it's sort of widely known that the second album didn't pan out so well, and then the third one was Revenge, right, with a different sound going back to the sound of Thunderstorm. So it's kind of fun to link
To link
different
the
sounds, yeah.
different albums. Cool that they also play. So let us know in the comments if you have seen them live somewhere in Denmark, maybe. And definitely something to put on the radar for more. I'm going to give it a listen also to the latest album because I've seen it maybe recommended by algorithms or by people, I don't know, but I have seen it. I have seen it featured in my feed. So thanks a lot for this, and let us know in the comments what you thought of Iron Fire, if you knew them, if this is a discovery, and also let us know in the comments if you want to hear or see other bands that maybe we don't know of, but that we're definitely into discovering because of your recommendation.
Absolutely. But in the meantime,
May your stories stay sharp.
and your quests end in glory.